Good morning, dear children. I hope you all are keeping fine. And today I am here to begin the lesson 2 Pip meets a convict. Before that, I am telling you some information of this lesson. You should know the author and why it is written, all that you should know first before reading and learning this lesson. So I will begin now. Today we will focus on the lesson 2 Pip meets a convict. Children, have you ever meet a stranger with a peculiar look and terrible voice? I think you never met a stranger in your life. But if you meet when you are alone, how you will feel? You may be feeling very scared. Today, we will learn a story entitled written by Charles Dickens, that is Pip Meets a Convict, about that lesson. It was written by Charles Dickens. He is a great writer. He wrote a huge number of novels and stories that were very popular in his lifetime and that remains popular on this day too. Now, Charles Dickens wanted the world he lived in to change for the better. He campaigned for children's rights, education, and for the Reformation to make it more equal. Now, Pip is the narrator of the story. So, he narrates the story remembering one of his childhood days. Now, we will come to this lesson. In this lesson, an orphan boy meets a convict. Do you know who is a convict? You may not be knowing, or else you may be thinking, what is the meaning of convict? A convict is a prisoner who is called a criminal. This story was taken from the novel. Here, Pip is a orphan boy, narrates his life journey, how he was going on about his life as a childhood. Now, you all are small children. Now, after some times, you also will remember your childhood. More or less, when you come to nursery, KG, all those days, as we grow, you remember your childhood days. Now, some children, the childhoods are very enjoyable, and for some children, it is a very painful because this boy is undergone so many difficulties. So, how he was feeling it, he is expressing his feeling and narrating the story. Now, through the boy underwent so many troubles and trials. So through this, what is that called, lies and faults, he learns how to find happiness. Maybe there were some faults, some lives he heard from the people, or he experienced some lies and the faults, all that he learns from that, he finds some kind of happiness. Now, he learns true meaning of friendship and love. He learns a true meaning of friendship and love. Till then, he has grown with nothing because he never experienced. His parents were dead and he was all alone. So, when the parents are not there, nobody is there in the family, the child is called orphan child. See, I don't think none of us, we will, your children, as a children, you may not have experienced, all your parents may be there. So that's what I am hoping. But this story is very peculiar story. His life journey is experiencing and telling is expressing to all of us in this lesson. Now, lesson 2, come to the lesson. Pip meets a convict. Now, he says, my fathers keep the finger on the first paragraph, page number 23. Page number 23, keep the finger. In a short way, I told you the story. I think by now you maybe got it, what you felt while reading this lesson. Come on, now. My father's family name is Pirip, and my first name Philip. But as a child, I couldn't say either. So I called myself Pip, and then so did everyone else. Now you see, Pip is the narrator of the story, as I told you. He narrates the story, one of his childhood days. I told you all this. Okay, now he says his father name is Pirip. Now he is a son. Now his son name is Philip, means Pirip's son is Philip. Since the family name is Pirip, so that's why maybe they kept this name Philip. So he could not pronounce either first name or last name. So he was confused. So he called himself as Pip in short. So all others also started to call him Pip. That is what this first paragraph says, all about his background of the family, how he came, how he got this name. This is all. Okay. Now, next paragraph we come. I say that my name is Pirip because that's what is written on my father's tombstone. And it is what my sister told me. My sister is married to the blacksmith. Now, who is this blacksmith? Now, blacksmith is a person who prepares tools and objects out of metals. Underline that word, blacksmith. Now, blacksmith is a person who prepares tools and other objects and out of metal. This is called a blacksmith. So you know that. Now goldsmith. Goldsmith means the one who is working in the gold shop, or is all about his business is gold. So that fellow is called goldsmith. So we have different occupations, and we name them like that. We label them, isn't it? Oh yes, sometimes you say my father is a businessman. So your father is involved all different kind of businessmen. Not one same, one particular. So same way, one person has got their own business. Now he says that his parents, what that I say that my name is Pirip because that's what's written on my father's tombstone. Yes. His father's name is written there on the tombstone. Tombstone means that people are buried, those dead people are buried, and after that, over that they make a mosaic type of or tiles type they put and make for the remembrance. The tomb was nicely built outside, though that is a tombstone. We say tombstone, and it is told him that the names are written there. Okay, now he lived in a marshy area down by the river, a few miles from the sea. One day I stood in the churchyard and looked over my parents' tombstone at the dark, flat wilderness beyond the churchyard. The marshes were crisscrossed with ditches and mounds. In the distance, I could see the grey line of the river, and then far away the sea. It was a cold day. Now, in the second paragraph, actually he expresses what he has seen there. Now he is sitting near the parents' tomb. He is sitting alone, lonely near the parents' tomb. Now when he sits there, so he what is that calls? He feels that he is very lonely and experience, and he tells the feelings that. Now he says here, I could see green line of the river, and then far away the sea. It was a cold day. Maybe it is this story may be somewhat written during, what he experienced, maybe that was a Christmas cold days, he says. I think so. So what he says, the grey color, here the grey he mentions, what is the grey color is a very dull color, very dull color, no any brightness, it has a shabby color, and represents this color represents gloomy, sadness and loneliness. Now, all of a sudden, he realized that he is an orphan. Why is realizing that orphan? Because he is feeling the sadness in that near the tomb, being alone. That was his feeling. He came to know that by sitting and experiencing all these, like a grey line of the river, and then far away the sea, it was a cold day, and what is there, nobody is there, alone. Now here, what is the meaning of mounds? Now mounds means next page, if you turn, meanings are there. That is mounds means here people buried in a ancient time. People buried in a ancient time, the graves will be there. That is called mounds. Now ditches is a small kind of ponds type. Water is there, and what is that called? Very muddy water, that is. Okay. Now marshy means a wet land area by water, usually covered in a small plants. Marshy means a wet land area by water, usually covered in small plants. Okay, this is all of what is experiencing. I am telling you in a story type, and that's what. Now coming to the next paragraph, I told you the grey land and the grey sky made me feel sad. Suddenly realized that was an orphan boy. Now you starts to cry here. Now you feels here that is a orphan boy. Nobody is there for him to look after. You have your parents, You enjoy them, your brothers and sisters, whereas he has nobody there. You know, the child has got, what is that called, that feelings. It's how difficult to live a life. That is what is a life journey says. Hold your nose, cried a terrible voice. It came from a man who had just stepped out from behind a gravestone. Keep still, or I will cut your throat. Now you see, hold your voice. He was crying. Maybe that somebody heard. Who is that somebody? Let us see afterwards. Let me keep you in suspense. The voice from where it came. Okay. Now, cried a terrible voice. Terrible means only frightening voice. If you could have been there, you could have run away with that voice. Poor thing, that boy is sitting still there, isn't it? It came from a man who had just stepped out from behind the gravestone. Behind the gravestone. The grave is there, and behind is coming out a man. Keep still, keep quiet. Otherwise, I'll cut your throat. Keep quiet. Otherwise, I'll cut your throat. Just now I am coming. You see, he's telling. Now we are proceeding to the next paragraph. This is all about this paragraph. This man was frightening. He was dressed in rough grey clothes and he had a big iron chain on his leg. He was an escaped convict. His shoes were broken. Keep the finger children while you are reading. You keep the finger. Okay? And he had an old rag tied round his head. He was dirty from being soaked in the muddy water from the ditches. He was covered in scratches from nettles and stones. He limped and shivered and glared and growled. His teeth chattered in his head as he seized me by the chain. Now you see what all things are happened here. Now, first he was frightening for this boy, and he was dressed very shabby clothes. Shabby means very dirty type, some old clothes. Now, he looks like a escaped convict. Convict means a prisoner, escaped prisoner. His shoes were fully broken and he was very dirtily dressed, shabbily. So he looks like he fell somewhere in the ditches and in the muddy everything, and his legs were tied with a big chain, like is coming out. No, prisoners how they come, right? If they escape. Now, and he was covered in scratches here and there, all full scratches from nettles and stones. Now, nettles means a weed that strings the skin when touches. A wild plant growing where it is not needed. That kind of nettles means plant. Okay, underline that word, nettles. Then you find the meaning in the book itself is there. He now limping, is limping and coming. You're not able to walk, and shivering and growled. Now his teeth were, what is that called? Sometimes when it is winter, you shiver very like this. If you don't wear any clothes, you will be shivering like that, like that, no? Then chattered, then making noise of the teeth, biting, like no, making the noise like I am going to attack somebody. This kind of noise they make. So this is what is experience in these three paragraphs. I told you how he is writing is a life journey. This is the author of this Charles Dickens. This is Charles Dickens has written so many novels. Out of this one, this much story I am telling you, and tomorrow you have to continue The next page, that is page number 24. Today you read this page number 23 nicely. This is the explanation of this lesson. Now underline the difficult words to learn the spellings. That is, for second paragraph, tombstone, blacksmith, blacksmith, marshy, marshy, ditches, ditches, mounds, mounds, realized, realized, gravestone, gravestone, stepped, stepped, frightening, frightening, escaped, escaped, muddy, muddy, covered, covered, chattered, chattered, shivered, shivered. So this many words, learn the spellings and write in your rough copy, rough book, five times these words. Write in your rough book five times and 5 lines of copywriting. Write and send in my WhatsApp. None of you are sending, only few are sending. How come? You all are so many children. I am every day correcting and sending back in the WhatsApp. I don't see you are sending continuously, only few children. Don't send personal number. Personally don't send. You send in the group. Okay? All the numbers are added in the group. You send in the group because I am checking randomly in the group. Okay? Have a nice day. God bless you and stay safe in your house. Okay, children. See you. I will be missing you.